Alright, hey guys, welcome to another MapleStory 2 video, and today marks the start of a new series on this channel called Beginner to Pro, where I detail everything I do in order to make my character stronger in MapleStory 2, so you guys can do the same. If you watched my MapleStory 1 videos back in the day, it's kind of like my funding guide series, and I know you guys really like that, so I'm bringing it here, kind of like the MS2 rendition of it. Although it's not like MapleStory 2 is pay to win or anything, so honestly, you can make your character stronger just by playing the game. It's very simple and streamlined, but you know what? I like making informational videos. Let me have my fun. Okay, so this episode's main topic is getting started. I'm going to talk about all the initial stuff you'll need to progress any character up to the high levels and the endgame content as more and more come out, so this will help you get set up for the following episodes. And right before we get into the meat of the video, there's going to be a playlist to the guide videos in the description below. And also, if you have any video requests on what you want me to cover in the future, such as maybe covering how to properly enhance or maybe life skills, definitely let me know in the comments section below and I'll be sure to get to it. Now, normally I would start with step 1, but there's actually a step 0 to this, and you don't really need to do this, but it helps. And I know, this is dreadful, but you gotta find friends. Either your own group of friends or find a guild to join. Don't be shy, step out of your comfort circle a little bit and talk to people, People in MS2 definitely a lot more friendly than some other games, although you find your batch of toxic people here and there. Plenty of people are looking to recruit players into their guilds, and believe me, they'll help you a ton. Not by giving you free gear per se, but by granting you access to a consistent party. You can still get by as a solo player, but I can't emphasize this enough, it's very heavily recommended to find a group of people to grow with you. Solo playing in MS2, it's definitely possible, but it's not efficient because you don't grow as fast. First and foremost, what you're going to want to do is pick a class to plant your roots in. Basically, for the sake of this guide, I'm going to force you to pick and lock in a class to main. Worry not, later on you can play other characters, but for now we just need to have a dedicated class. For this series, I'm going to be playing on Pension, my new berserker. I was going to work on a thief, but then I realized I'm probably going to get kicked out of every single party when I try to join, so that's not an option. While we're on that, I do plan to make a thief review for my next class because everyone thinks they are sleeper OP, so you know what? Stay tuned for that. Currently, the best classes to play for your first progression would be classes that easily benefit parties. You'll be doing that quite a bit. So we have classes like Priests because they have heal and they have the broken skill holy symbol, Heavy Gunners because they're the best at ranged mobbing, Wizards for strong backline DPS plus a great party buff that boosts attack, and probably Berserker because they have a lot of DPS and being meaty at the same time. That's not to say the other classes can't work, but we're focusing on progression, so for now just pick the meta. Step 1 is to get your character to level 60 because that's when you have full liberty and access to the content up to date in MapleStory 2. You can either do this by doing the story questline, which will take you to level 60 roughly in 6 to 10 hours depending on how fast you are. Alternatively, if you're really focused on trying to reach Diamond in solo queue and you're getting desperate because the season ends in like 3 weeks, you can go ahead and do AFK fishing or AFK music playing and get to level 60 in about 15 hours. However you want to do it is entirely up to you, but for brand new players, I recommend that you do the storyline because it hooks you up with a lot of free equipment, mesos, and items. In my case, since I'm already well into the game, I just played music since you get a bunch of auto performance vouchers from the Maple Monopoly wheel, but like I said, it depends on what you want to do. If you have a busy life, let's say you're in school or you have grad school, or let's say you have a really big 9 to 5 schedule, then you can also opt to do a little bit of both. Step 2, you have to reach 1500 gear score. If you've been following this story questline, they should have given you enough equipment to where you're roughly around 1400 to 1450. If you AFK your way to level 60, it's going to be a bit tougher since you don't get any gear, but still manageable. To get the last 50 to 100 GS, you just need to get a few items from the black market. You can easily get level 50 exceptional items, or the way we like to call blue equips, for about 20 to 30k mesos a piece, which is what I plan to do. It's pretty easy to get 200 to 300k a day based on your daily quests and the like, so it's not that expensive. The items you want to go for are a weapon, a hat, a top, and a bottom. When browsing a weapon, add a search filter for weapons with piercing and physical or magic piercing depending on the class you play. Even though this is a temporary equip, it would be in your best interest to go for those two stats since they're the most beneficial damage-wise, and because there's so many blue equips out there, no one really pays attention to what stats they have or the bonus attributes, so the price doesn't change at all. If you're still running a little short, you can use some onyx crystals to enhance your weapon, but overall it's not that strenuous, don't worry about it. So now you have a level 60 character with 1500 gear score, good. The next thing you want is to establish your skill builds. Unlike MapleStory 1 where you can max every skill in the game, MapleStory 2 requires you to major in a specific playstyle. For instance, Assassins have 3 builds, the single target DPS, a party-wide support damage, and then a build for mobbing and short instance burst damage, which we would usually alter in between each one for best effective results in whatever situation we're in. For your class, do some research on what proper skill build is for bossing since you'll be doing that mostly from here on out, but tinker around with your class for the time being. Some classes do have a build that's one size fits all, such as a wizard, whereas the other classes have varying functions, which means it's prudent for you to do your homework. Now this next step is optional, but if you follow step 0 of trying to get a group of friends who also want to progress the game, make sure you guys have a proper team composition planned out. Some bosses, they are easily accomplishable with a group of 4 DPS meatheads, but others, they'll be kind of difficult to undertake unless you have a proper idea, especially if you plan to take this super seriously. For example, it's good to synergize an assassin or ranger with runeblader. Assassins have guaranteed critical strike chance with fatal strikes, and runeblader buffs the party's critical damage. Another one is having 3 very spirit-heavy classes combined with the priest's holy symbol for effective burst. I say this is optional because it's more for the sake of min-maxing than anything else, but it's an option nonetheless. Alright, so that concludes the first episode. In the future episodes, I'll cover over more specific aspects of the game as well as more advanced things that you want to work on to improve your characters and ultimately enjoy the RPG aspect of MapleStory 2. This episode was mostly just a precursor to, I guess, get you guys ready for the future episodes that I'm going to be releasing. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We hit 10,000 subscribers today and I'm so happy. Honestly, I know it sounds very cheesy and I know every YouTuber says it, but you know, it really does mean a lot to us. The fact that we have people who are willing to dedicate their time to subscribe to our channel and to watch our content. It's a pleasure to grow a great community in such a short amount of time. I hope you guys can continue to support me and I hope I can continue to give you guys the best quality content I can give. Anyways, keep an eye out for a 10k sub special video this week. I have a nice dish for you guys playing this time and it's probably one of my favorite ones. Until then though, I'll look forward to seeing you guys again in the next video. Take care.